Hey guys, I am going to videotape this makeup look. I am currently in my dining room, as you can see. I don't normally videotape here, but the lighting was good. So yeah, just keep watching. So I just wanted to give you guys a little review. I purchased this makeup eraser from Target. It got my makeup off. This is the crappiest makeup eraser I've ever used, so I would not recommend getting it. I bought some online. I can't remember the brand, but I bought some online that were way better. And then I just use makeup wipes to take off the rest. I have really red, hyperpigmented skin, as you can see. Okay. I have pre-wet my sponge. This is a Morphe makeup sponge, and I love it. I use the straight edge side and then the pointed side. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the Smashbox primer water. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm almost out. I need to get some more. This is just a trial size that I had. So doesn't taste good. So I spray that on my face and let it sit. I usually use my blow dryer to dry it off. Then I use the Rodan & Fields Active Hydration Serum. This is not marketed for this purpose, but it is really tacky and it is like glue for my foundation. So I'll put that on over the primer water and rub that in. And it just really helps my makeup stick. But you can use any primer. This is just what I use. It also hydrates your skin, obviously. So I have my mirror down here too. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at my mirror. Once that dries, let that sit. And this is what I'm doing today. This isn't always what I do, but I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in light to medium. And then I have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I said it was high def, but it's actually Camo Concealer in medium peach. In the summertime, I'm usually a lot darker. So I use this more so in the wintertime to kind of help color correct. But I mix them quite often. And then down the nose and on the chin. So my sponge is wet, but I'm also gonna use a hydrating face mist. I just got this at TJ Maxx, but I just use it because it has glycerin in it. And glycerin helps, well, it's also got water in it, so it helps to rehydrate my sponge, but glycerin will also help adhere. And then I pounce it on my wrist so that it's not like super wet when I go in. All right, so I'm gonna sponge one side and then I'm gonna brush the other because I do both. All right, and I put this, so I'm obviously mixing it right as and I try to pull it down to about my cheek line, but I'm obviously mixing it, the two colors, as I'm pouncing. And you pounce, you do not smear, you pounce. Try to get the inner corner of your eye, and that's pretty good there. Okay, so that's with the sponge. But I also like using a brush. So this is just an e.l.f. concealer brush that I use. And with this, you're going to pounce. So I just, it's like putting on war paint. And I'm just gonna do the rest of my face with this. Pounce, pounce, pounce. Probably should have pulled my hair back. And the reason that we're highlighting the center of our face basically, and the T-zone is because that's where the sunlight hits your face. And then the rest of this you will darken, if you will, shade and light. That's on my tongue. And then if you have any areas that you actually need to conceal, you can touch those up. I'm putting foundation over this, so it's gonna look splotchy, right? But we're gonna fix that. I just wanna make sure that the concentration of concealer is in these areas. And then I crease really bad around my nose. And so I always try to really press that in there. Let's get this side. And you just pounce, 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 pounce. And then I pull this down. So I get down in here and get some of that red coverage, cover my redness. Now, one thing I do is I will go underneath and just lightly, I hold my brush with 2 fingers and my thumb, right? And I just lightly fan it, looking upward, creating the forehead wrinkles. And I just brush that really good into that lash line so that it's, because I tend to crepe really bad here, so I just want to make sure that it's a light coverage. And then I can also get into the corner of my eye better with this brush. But I like this one from time to time too, so. And then lightly fanning and pouncing. Okay. That's it. All right. So that's done. And then I'm just going to pounce my forehead a little more, just to make sure that is covered. Good. This is about the amount that I use. I don't know, a little smaller than a dime of the Radiant Defense Radiant Infields in, I don't even know what shade this is, beige. So I'm just gonna put a dab here and a dab here, and then I will get these parts of my face, basically the outer ring of my face, if you will. And then you just pounce that. And then I don't typically re-wet my sponge, but if it has dried and you need to re-wet it, you can either use some sort of like primer water. I really like the coconut water. I think they also sell it at Urban Outfitter, or you can get it online. But you can just use water. You just want to make sure that you're breaking down that foundation just enough to kind of like, when you want it to look like skin, you don't want it to look like you just put war paint on. And then I go into my concealer on my forehead so that it blends well. And then I get my nose. And the more you do this, the more like skin this will look. I get to the point where my unexercised arms and lack of muscle tone, I start to get sore. My arm starts hurting. But I don't ever go into here with my foundation. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see it. That's it. What I'm gonna do, I use 2 different things. I use Airspun. My grandmother used this. It smells like an older lady. Not my favorite scent, but it's translucent and it gives extra coverage. The downside to this is that it could make you look cakey if you are not careful. It's pretty finely milled, so and then brush that I use is something that is this shape, because what I'm going to do is set under my eyes. So I'm going to go like this. So I use something that is a shape. It's not necessary. You could just use your regular old face brush if you wanted to. But this is the shape. Another one that's really good, this is an e.l.f. brush. But this one, see how there, it's a little bigger. But you just want to be able to get underneath your eyes. So that's what I'm using. And I don't even know, I think this is an Eco Tools. I don't know what type of brush it is. But, so I get a little on my brush, I rub it in my pan, and then I dab it off on my arm. And then I start in with my nose. And just pounce. Because what you want to do is lightly pack in and like suck in that area. And then I will swipe back and forth a little bit for that. And you don't want to forget about your eyelids. Now I do circular motions because I always get, I don't get enough coverage here, so I always kind of do like a circular motion. Anyways, that's just me. Again with my nose and back up in here. All right, now I've wrinkled my forehead enough that you can see where it's settling in my lens. It just happens. So I'm going to spray and pounce. And I just make sure that that's smoothed out. And then I'll go in and set it. A little bit more of this into my lid. And then I shake it off and set. So really all you're doing with the translucent powder is you're setting these areas. For me, which have found lines. The translucent powder doesn't have any color to it really, but it does tend to have a bit of a brightening effect. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's what the purpose of banana powder is. I use Stay Matte by Rimmel. I've used this for years. It's just a staple for me. I don't know that there's any great benefit to it, but this is just what I use in Creamy Beige. And then I've gone through so many of these, but I just, into my thing, swipe it off and pounce. And I'll go back over some of my areas. And I go in circular motions under my neck. Like so. And pounce. And these are Morphe brushes. Brandon got me a set of these. It was this is the large powder brush, but I said Morphe, sorry, these are Sigma. Brandon got me these probably 6 or 7 years ago for like it was before I had Everly, so it's probably older than that. They're probably 10 years old. They have certain like base sets that you can get, and so that's what he got me. So this is Nabella Noor. She's a makeup, I don't know if y'all can see it. She did a collaboration with e.l.f. She's a makeup YouTuber. Anyways, it comes with like a little thing where you can just turn it and close it off. I just thought it was really cool. e.l.f. is dirt cheap, but they do have some good products. I've had some bad experiences too, but like I bought makeup remover wipes one time, and that was a disaster. My face broke out so bad. I had like a chemical burn from using it. So I'm gonna use this big fluffy brush. It's very fluffy, and this is also from the collaboration. It came like as a set. But there's just a little bit of powder in there, and I'm gonna go pounce once, and you can see it's very shimmery, but it's super, super finely milled, and at least it looks like it is. And so I'm just gonna try to get that all over my brush, shake it off, and then I'm going to put this all over my face. It makes me look like a Tin Man, but I'm looking for like a really See how shimmery it is? Like, not wet look, but I just feel like for the summertime, it keeps you from looking so matte. So, we're not in summer, but you get the point. All right. And I'll put it everywhere. Now, I use Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in light. They have it in other colors, and I think they even have a set of like 6 with the 3 bronzers and 2 blushes and a highlighter. I can't remember, but anyway. So I use a really fluffy brush for this as well. Some people really like to use more of like a well-defined brush that's thin. I don't even know if I have one to do a contour, something like this. Like a thick fan brush. This is an e.l.f., which I've used this too. I just want it to look, and I just dabbed it on one end of the fin, if you will. You can see it there. But I'll just use this. And you just go like in a downward motion, and then I circle it up like that. Because I'm not trying to look chiseled. I'm gonna switch back to my fat brush. I swirl this around in here, tap it off, and then I'm going in a straight motion like this, but I'm circling it because I want it to be diffused. I don't want it to look like some chiseled hard line, right? And it's bronzer, so I want it to look like I have just a sun-kissed cheek. And I put a little bit on my jawline to give me a little bit of a shading, frame my face a little bit, right? Swirling it around, tapping out the excess, and do the same thing over here. And this, I feel like, is so light that I can just really build it up, and I do that. I probably use more than I should, but I love this stuff. And then the other place I put it is I dab it on my forehead. You could probably do back and forth sweeping motions too, but I dab it on my forehead to kind of frame my face a little bit. If you have a short forehead, you don't necessarily need to do this, but I have a bigger forehead. And so, and back over here, and there you go. That's it. Now I'm gonna do blush, and then I do highlighter. So for blush, I have a Morphe G3 brush that I use, and it's thin. It's thinner here, but rounder. I don't know. I really like it. It's a really good blush brush. I don't know that that's what it's for, but that's what I use it for. So I swirl and tap, and then I pounce. My arm starts to go numb after a while. And then sometimes a little sweeping motion to kind of move that back some. If you get too much blush on here, you can swipe it on your hand, right, to get that excess off. So just note that. Right, and you just want it on, I just want it on the apples of my cheeks. Like that. Then I go in with highlighter, and then I might even go back into this, the e.l.f. Nobella, I don't know if I'm saying that right. So this is a really old product, but I have a Jaclyn Hill Becca collab palette that I use for highlight. I have a lot of different highlighters, but this is one I use from time to time. And then I'm just going to, I take a fan brush, like a really thin, this is EcoTools. This is a really thin fan brush, and I just swipe the first little kind of like quarter of that fan, and just like that. And then I just want to catch this little corner of my, you see it right there? Just like that. And then I do the same thing over here. Like that. And then I'm gonna go down my nose. I'm doing like a this motion, right? And then I also get my Cupid's bow. Like that. And then I go back in, knock it off. A little on my forehead and a little on my chin. I look fresh-faced. I'm gonna go back in with my wet sponge, spray it with my coconut water, and I don't know, some YouTuber told me this one, I thought it was a good idea, but pounce the excess on my palm, back of your hand, and then I'm gonna go in here and just lay that down so that it looks a little more like melted into the skin. I'm gonna do the same thing here on my forehead. And the reason you don't want this to be super wet is because it will just pick your makeup right up, and we don't want that, right? So go back over that, go over my chin, and then go over this, and we're done. I am just using an e.l.f. product. It is a wax and a powder, and I just use the wax. I just got this one the other day. And I use an Eco tool for that. I've just recently cleaned all my brushes with Japan in the butt, but anyways, I just dab it into here and then just brush it. I also really like the Anastasia brow pencil. I use that probably more than I use this, but this is a lot quicker. And I need to get a new eyebrow pencil from Anastasia. Sorry, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So I'm just using the wax side. I'm not using the powder. But I like this e.l.f. product because it's dual purpose, right? It gives you the look of a fuller brow, but it's a wax, so it also holds them in place. So I love that. I also need to get my eyebrows waxed, but being light-haired, I go for a length of time before I get my eyebrows waxed because I don't want my eyebrows to look super thin like that. Make sure you don't have angry eyebrows. That's not my best work, but oh, they look crooked, don't they? Maybe my face is just crooked, I don't know. Whatever. Long hair, don't care. All right, now I'm gonna do my eye makeup really quick, and then we're done. So I kept my concealer brush here, and it has creased a little bit, even though I powdered it. So I'm just gonna go in here and smooth that out. And then this is another cheapie. My leg is going to sleep. This is another cheapie e.l.f. product that I love. This one is Mad for Matte, and I love this palette. But this is a skin tone color, and so I'll just take a little bit of this and put it here to set. So I just use my finger, but you can also use a brush. This is a Morphe eye brush set that I just got a couple weeks ago, and I love it. I don't know, it's probably been 2 or 3 months now because I got it, I think, back after Christmas. So I'm just using the peach and just fanning that out. Okay. I had a hair stuck in my eye, like in the corner of my eye, making me crazy. Okay, I'm gonna use this. One, and this is another Morphe eye makeup brush that I got in the eye kit. So the way I get it is I just dab and swirl, and then tap off the, you can see it flying whenever I did that. I don't know if you can see it in there, but anyway. And then I put it right here and dab and swirl. And bring it down. And windshield wiper. And back and swirl and bring it down. And we're really just diffusing the shit out of it is what we're doing. God, what was that Atlanta housewife who said, just twirl. Twirl, bitches. That's all you gotta do. Kenya Moore. She's very nice. just kidding. She doesn't seem to be very nice. All right, that's it. So you're just kind of building up that area. Swirl, windshield wiper, swirl, windshield wiper, swirl, windshield wiper. Now, when I go to this side, I don't do it as good. Back and swirl. And back. And swirl. Okay, we're almost there. I think that's the one thing that I've learned the most about doing makeup, especially your eye makeup, is you really just have to go in repetitive motions. It's good brushes and it's repetitive motion. I don't know that they're necessarily even, but I can never get my left to be even with my right. So, okay. That's it. So it's good brushes and it's a lot of like blending. At least for me, that's what I find in order to have great success. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I have a Morphe angled brush, a small angled brush. I don't know if you can see there. And then I'm gonna take my hydrating water and I spray it on my wrist. And then I'm just wetting my brush. And I've already got some on my wrist because there was some already on this brush because I did this look and then I took it off and did it again. But I'm using the black in here and I'm putting that wet in there. And then I'm gonna look off to the side here and do a liner. And I love doing this, probably more so than just doing eyeliner. You could do a cat eye if you wanted. Oops. Got a little wonky on that one. But that's okay, because I will fix it. This is one of those things too where, go back in with my hand and pick up some more water. This is one of those things too where you just do it more and more and you get better at it. But if this is not something that you're very good at, you can literally stamp your eyelid, right? And then you can go back in and build it up if you want to, if it's not dark enough. The cool thing is, if you wanted to do more loud, outlandish look, you could take a red or a blue or a green or whatever and do the same thing for liner. So that's it. All right, I'm gonna do the other line. I'm gonna do my mascara and then I'll come back to do my lips. All right, no, I don't think so, baby. So I have this L'Oreal Color Riche Matte in, what is this in? 110 Matte's It is the name of it. And I line my Cupid's bow and then go down the side, just like that. I mean, truthfully, I could just wear this and nothing else. I love this lip pencil. Some people like to overline their lips. I'm not personally a fan of overlining my lips, but you can see where I highlighted the Cupid's bow and how it kind of like makes my lip pop a little bit. And then I have an e.l.f. Liquid Matte Lipstick that I'm gonna use in Blushing Rose. I'm just gonna put a little bit on because it is pretty matte. And these are close in color. So, put that in the center. These will make your lips incredibly dry. And if your lips are already dry like mine were, then you're probably gonna have a dry day and your lips are gonna start getting crusty. But It doesn't really bother me. I guess I'm just used to it. But if it's something that bothers you, these NYX lip butters are amazing. I love them. I use them quite a bit. And you can put it in the center and kind of like rehydrate your lips. So I like to keep these around. I like them looking matte, but just a little. And you're good. This is a pretty simple look. It didn't take a lot of time. And I think it's a neutral enough eye look that you could really use a pop of color on your lips, or use a neutral lip like I've done. I did not go in and fix this, so I will do that now. And I just wipe that away. Okay. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this look, and if there's anything else that you guys want to see, let me know. Drop a comment in the box below. I watch way too many YouTube videos. Okay. Y'all have a good day.